This is Kris McThrashy from Hidden Intent, coming out next year. Just got back from Wacken, and I'm very stoked to be here on the Heavy Mag podcast with Kris. So let's bloody go, mate.
Beautiful, mate. From one Kris to another, welcome.
Yeah, no, for sure, man.
So we've got a bit to talk about, man. So let's start on the next item on Hidden Intent's busy schedule, which is Metal in the Mountains. It's going to be held at the Beechworth Historical Precinct on October 28th, mate. Like, just the name of it, Metal in the Mountains, like, sounds pretty fucking cool before you even go any further.
Yeah, we've been meaning to play in Beechworth because it's I've actually got a bit of family there, and I've been up there a couple of times to visit. And strangely enough, it's actually where my late grandma, like, where she last resided. So
wow.
So there's a bit of history there, which is cool. But yeah, sick name, Metal in the Mountain. You can't get more metal than that. So and it's in a jail or something. It's in like an old jail, outdoor jail.
Oh wow, that's even better. If it's outdoor, they can't keep you there.
Yeah, I might just hang my boots up and jump into one of the cells and call it a day.
And gonna be joined there by 100 Years War. There's Duneater, Firing Squad, Steakface, Pissbolt, Nembutolic, and Religious Order, mate. Like, who are you looking forward to most out of playing with all those guys?
Probably 100 Years War, man, because I think I saw them play at New Dead in Adelaide, and I didn't get to see much of them. I walked in, and I think they played their last song, and I was kind of spewing about that. So looking forward to watching them while I'm warming up and just checking them out, and all the other bands really. There's some sick bands, not just metal by the looks of it as well. Looks like there's some crossover sort of stuff, which I'm really into. Really keen to check it out. As I said, first time there, so it'll be a fresh audience, which is what we're always about with Hidden Intent. We like to play to new places. If it's a small crowd doesn't matter. Like, as long as we're getting new eyes and ears on the band, that's what matters. So it would be a lifelong band there. You just haven't really covered yet. So
yeah, cool. And then after that, you've got Froth and Fury in Adelaide on November the 18th, which features Butterfly Effect, Suicidal Tendencies, Sunk Lotto, Red Hook, many more, man. Like, that should be an absolute cracker.
Yeah, Froth and Fury is going to be nuts, man. We played the first one, Kris, and it was like unreal. And that was COVID times where there was restricted capacity. So I think there was only about 500 people over the course of both days, 500 each, because that was the restriction. But now, since then, Froth and Fury has grown so much. And this year with the headliners, the Butterfly Effect and Suicidal Tendencies, that's just like insane on so many levels. Like, because Suicidal Tendencies, we played with them in the States last year at Full Terror Assault in Illinois. So we got to meet Mike, and we got to meet Rob Trugelo's son Ty on bass. Wow. So that was crazy. So asking him about his dad and that kind of thing. The really surreal experience. And of course the Butterfly Effect, man, like, that's going back to when I was like 14, 15, cranking them in high school and stuff. So it's a massive gateway band for myself, and I know Paulie, our drummer's, really into it too. But this one's looking at to be like 4,000 to 5,000 people.
Wow.
Like, first year, 501 day, 5,000, for this one. It's like, what? It's like so big over a very short amount of time. Yeah.
And like, it's a massively diverse lineup, mate. The same as Metal in the Mountains, the diversity there. So how important is it, like, in the modern age, for a festival to have that diversity? Like, this for too long, it's just been one band after another that could pretty much be the same with a different name. But it's good to see that diversity sort of starting to creep in.
Definitely, man. Like, Froth is a music festival, alternative music festival. That's sort of what I, label as person. I'm sure Northie, the promoter, would label something similar. But you've got to have variation to bring in different cohorts of people. I think if it's a straight up metal festival, you're only going to get that audience. And I'm saying that because I run Churches of Steel Festival in Adelaide, which is probably the most niche festival in the world because it caters that the old school metalheads, and every now and then I kind of open the floodgates a little bit to a bit of rock and roll and some even some old school like glam and stuff like that, just to change it up. But you got to have that diversity. Metal in the Mountains is a good one too. It's got some punk on there. It's got a bit of diversity overall, because even when you're a metalhead, you don't listen to the same types of metal on stop, do you? You switch it up a little bit when you're at work or at the gym. So yeah.
Yeah, cool. So we've finished looking forward, mate. So let's look backwards for a little bit, mate, to August, where you played a small festival overseas called Wacken in Germany, and then another in Derbyshire called Bloodstock. Like, how fucking good is that?
Yeah, that was a long, hard game of tennis on email to get on. It was just getting through to the right guy, and then I'm just really patient, slow game of tennis for it was a 2-year email thread. So for bands out there, be patient. Your turn will come. But no, it was a wicked festival, man. It's still really surreal that we played it. The weather, obviously, you might have probably saw, Kris, was pretty full on, like a big mud pool, and they reckon it was the worst weather they've had since 2015. So we got to still play, which is cool, because we weren't sure if we were going to play at one point. So but then we got instructions that we could play, and that was was a blessing, because we did get to play, and it was awesome, man. I have to say, even just the backstage experience was like out of this world. Like, I think our guitarist like happy teared a few times, just because seeing Joey from Anthrax just casually walking around, because he was doing a guest appearance with Doro, who was running one of the main stages, and we played the smaller Wasteland stage. It was basically a thrash metal bill that day on the smaller stage with Schizophrenic, Evil Dead. But yeah, Joey, and of course Mickey from Motorhead, got to meet. I'm massive, a bit of a Motorhead fan myself, so I got to hang out with him, and it was really cool. Yeah, it's just a really surreal experience, man.
And no disrespect to the Australian festivals, but how differently are they run over there? Like, I went to Download over there in 2010, and just the whole vibe of them, and the way they run things, and like the whole planning, everything over there, it's top notch. Like, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, definitely the catering side of things is pretty crazy. Like, we've got a rider we use for when we go overseas, because we know that we're going to be taken care of more over there. And they just keep giving you beers non-stop. Basically, for Barkin, it was just more than normal, of course, being a festival like that, but just non-stop, as much beer as you wanted. There's multiple spots where you can get drinks, and they had a whole section for like artist catering, where you could just walk up and grab anything you could think of was pretty much there, like a full buffet style. And even a dude cooking up like specialty like meat as well. Just walk. I feel like a medium rare Scotch fillet. He would just be like, come right up, cool.
Jesus.
Just laughing. I kept eating it as he was bringing it out, and then I'd ask for something else. So it's unreal, man. Bloodstock was sick too, though. Blood in Derbyshire. We obviously got a small slot on that one, but it was still sick to play. It was surreal for our drummer Paul, because at Bloodstock we played just after In Flames on one of the small stages.
Yeah,
and he's like a huge In Flames fan. I'm more of a straight up thrash rock and roll kind of guy, but he's like really into that sort of stuff. And he was like, pretty surreal experience for him, just setting up his drums, listening to one of his favorite bands play on them. And then the crowd sort of walks over and fills up this Jägermeister tent to the brim, and then we got some circle pits going on, and that was just unreal too. Both festivals were just out of this world amazing. So really, really pleased that we got to pull it off. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll break them festivals down a little bit and chat about them. So we'll start with Bloodstock, where you played on the Jägermeister stage on the Friday. Like, tell us, like, for all bands over here that are wanting to do that sort of thing, like, tell us about your day. What was your day like the day that you played?
A bit hectic. So we had a really hectic schedule on that last run. We had to go to come from Dublin in Ireland the night before. So we had to get up super early, get the first ferry, which was like a red eye. I think it was like 7 in the morning or something. Ferry to Holyhead, and then go to Holyhead and jump in the car that we left there. And then we got in a car there for like 5.5 hours, 6 hours or something to Derbyshire, rolled in, quickly got our artist bands, headed straight to where the Jägermeister area was, put our gear there, quickly try and smash some food, get into the zone, and then set up and played. So we hadn't really got like maybe an hour prep beforehand. It was pretty like go, go, go. And Sacred Reich were on tour as well, and they played one of the main stages, and they actually had to play later because their van they had, their tour bus couldn't pass this particular under this bridge, so they had to go they had to go the long route to get to the festival, and they called the promoter and they got a slot later. But I don't know, I'm like, man, that's like an upgrade. I think you did well there, like got to play later on. So they're originally going to play at like 1:30, and they ended up playing about a couple of hours before us on one of the bigger stages. So yeah.
You can't see, I've just been joined by one of the young girls. Say hi, Kris.
Oh, hey. Hi. I'll give Dad back to you soon, I promise.
So at Bloodstock, man, like how are the bigger bands with like a smaller Australian band like yourselves? Like, do they give you the time of day? Do they sort of take under the wing? Like, what's it like backstage there?
They're all pretty cool, man. Like, we did, luckily that show, like Bloodstock and stuff, we had our friend Shrapnel from the UK. They came and watched us, and we got to hang out with them. And our driver from Sweden rocked up as well, who normally drives the first leg of our tours, the headline shows that we do. So he introduced us to a few people, but Sacred Reich were there, hang out with them again. And someone from Sacred Reich, Dave Lane, of course, Machine Head. He is, we didn't actually realize his partner's from Australia.
Okay.
So she's from the Gold Coast. So I think when you find that connection with a certain band member, then the others start to sort of jump on that as well. You just got to find the connection with one, and then so the others will follow. So most of the time they're really stoked to have a band like us come all the way from Australia, and they ask us about bloody, Crocodile Dundee and AC/DC and all that. So I never really had too many problems, man. It's always been pretty cruisy.
I interviewed a band from the States a couple of weeks ago, and he asked me about spider repellent. Like, he actually thought there was something called spider repellent.
Wow, spider repellent.
He's lucky it was early in the morning, my brain wasn't switched on, so I could have had some fucking fun with him. I mean, I gave it straight up and said there was no such thing.
Just giving me like a merch idea, like get some spider repellent when I go over to the US next, and see if people will actually buy it.
There we go, mate. We'll keep that one between us, and we'll work on it.
Yeah, I'll give you like a 10% commission for it. All right, Kris.
What a guy, mate. What a guy. So let's move on to Wacken then, mate. Like, it's another beast entirely to Bloodstock. Like, what stage did you play on there, and what was that experience like?
Playing at Wacken, yeah, we played the Wasteland stage. It's like a smaller stage, still pretty big. Like, it's still, I think it's like 8,000 cap in front of that stage, and then you've got the outer parts, so people just sort of walk in traffic kind of thing. Yeah, that was unreal, man. Like, it's set up to look a little bit like post-apocalyptic sort of vibe on that stage, a little bit of Mad Max sort of stuff going on. So yeah, unreal, man, that we got to do that. And it's really cool that those big festivals like Wacken have those small stages for sort of the more underground acts, because yeah, otherwise we wouldn't have been able to play something like that. It's funny, I got the Wacken shirt in the mail the other day. We got artist ones, but then I wanted to order the actual proper punter one, and like it's just funny, like for my daughter as well. And you get like the name at the top, I made, and then intense, like you just got like school to see our little girl, like, hey, still got to play, man.
Still on there.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned those smaller stages, because when I was at Download in 2010, I think it was, like, Steel Panther were playing on the smaller stage at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. So like it just shows that they do work, like I think the crowd there was massive, but I don't even think their first album had come out yet, but it sort of shows that those smaller stages do nurture You know, that stepping stone sort of thing.
Yeah, we had a guy in the UK actually say like, "I I'd love to see you on a big stage, like download." And I'm like, "Yeah, all right, mate."
Yeah, make it happen.
But you're right, man. Like those smaller stages, I think the bands go a lot harder. They really want to be the one. I'm not saying that the
Yeah.
main acts,
Well, they're still trying to earn their spot more or less, aren't they, on the smaller ones?
yeah, and they're just pushing that, grinding that a little bit harder, headbanging that a little bit more, I reckon, just to sort of win the crowd over. Like we had before us, Schizophrenia, this new band. I think they went on tour with Mason and Warbringer.
Oh yeah, yep.
They played just before us, and they're sort of like a death kind of thrash band, and they were just going so hard to the point where I was on stage watching them, and the guitar wires kept falling out of his pocket. That happened like times. We kept going up, like me and one of the tech guys going up and putting it on. And I ended up just like trying to get, you got any tape, man? Any gaff? Just like tape it down, man. Because he was just running around so much that it just like kept dangling off of him.
Aussies to the rescue.
Yeah, bloody oath, man. Yeah, yeah.
So did you play any other shows over there? Like, did you do a few of your own runs while you're over there, or did you just go and play the bigger ones?
Yeah, we did. We always start any European. It's our third time in Europe, but our first time in the UK. So that was a whole new market for us. But we got to do the whole UK run with Sacred Reich, which was cool. We played with them in Adelaide. We got to have that experience playing with them, and then luckily, it's with the help from Hardline Media. They sort of like married that relationship up, and we got to open for them, which was really cool. And they kind of helped us get on, name dropping them, helped us get on Bloodstock as well, because they sort of Bloodstock were like, "Oh, you're on tour with Sacred Reich." Yeah, okay, cool. We'll try and make something work, which was really good. But yeah, we did a few headline gigs in Europe as well, in Germany and in Sweden. That's where our driver is from. So that's cool to have a few headline shows. Then we jumped on to about 10 gigs with Shrapnel, mates from Britain, and Costa Rica band called Chemicide, and that was cool too. So we got a really good package overall, like playing with Sacred Reich, a couple of festivals, and yeah, the triple bill as well. So that was amazing experience, man.
Okay, good on you, bro. Yeah, on the music, man. Like your last release was Dead End Destiny in 2021. Like I know you've been busy doing other shit, but have you got any gear for the next album yet?
Yeah, we're actually working on a new track at the moment. A bit of a darker kind of, still party, hidden intent, so sort of vibes, but definitely a heavier, darker direction, a bit more sadistic, I'd say is the word to use, sadistic. Yeah, so a little bit more twisted kind of vibes going on. So yeah, we've got a new track we're doing some pre-production for at the moment. We're going to give it a bit of a road test over the next few months just to see if we want to make any changes. And in the meantime, we're writing a whole new bunch of songs for a new record, and we're hopefully going to have that out so early to mid next year, depending on how the timeline goes. But yeah, really look forward to getting another album out. And you got to be a lot quicker now with content these days. I think you'd probably agree. The shelf life of an album now, you really can't wait 3 years anymore. You've got to sort of be churning them out. Maybe every year to 2 years, I'd say now. So
yeah, that's the latest, mate.
Yeah, it's a very fast-paced industry. That's what I read the other day. And apparently, the music industry is the fastest-paced industry in the world.
Wow,
moves so quick.
Well, just people's attention spans these days, mate. Like I know myself. Like I get that much new music come across my desk every day. Like it's sort of, unless you're in people's faces more or less all the time, you're yesterday's news before you even know about it.
Spotify monthly listeners were up so high during the festival period when we were playing Getting on Wacken and Bloodstock. We were added to a bunch of playlists. We're up to like 10,000 plus monthly listeners. It was like, yeah, sick. And then as soon as we got home, it's like dropped back down to like 3,000.
Yeah, fuck. Well, speaking of Spotify, mate, we're started up three new Spotify playlists. Have we got you? Sorry, you break up on me a bit there.
What was that? Sorry, man.
I said we've started up 3 new Spotify playlists through Heavy, but with the artists that we speak to. So using your own songs, give me a song for a playlist to get the party started, one for a playlist to save your marriage, and one for a playlist that could potentially end your marriage.
From our songs?
Yeah, your songs.
Oh, breaking point to save your marriage.
Yeah,
And maybe the first one. Oh yeah, no, to end your marriage, Dead End Destiny. Yeah, go with that. And
yeah.
then the first one, first playlist, Get a Dog Up You. Yeah, Get a Dog Up You, mate. Yeah,
Get a dog up, yeah.
hell yeah.
All
Only
right,
because
Kris.
I based.
Well, thanks for your time, mate. It's been good catching up, brother. Your next gig is October 28th at Metal in the Mountains. Then you got Froth and Fury after that, and you guys are probably one of the most prolific touring bands I've ever met, mate. So congratulations, mate. Good on you for finally starting to get the recognition you deserve, bro.